Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to London Contenders. I'm Baz Bammy Boy, Deadline's Breaking Baz columnist and international editor at large. I'm so thrilled to be moderating the panel for Hard Truths, directed by Leigh, a lion of the cinema. The movie reunites the filmmaker with Marianne Jean-Baptiste for the first time since they worked together on the acclaimed Secrets and Lies 28 years ago. Here, thank me for saying that. And Michele Austin, who has worked with them both on stage and screen. In Hard Truths, Marianne plays Pansy, and Michele plays her sister Chantal. Pansy resides in North London with her husband and 21-year-old son, who have long taken her for granted. Husband comes home and grunts, "Where's my dinner?" The son barely leaves his room, and Pansy's the one who keeps the show on the road. She keeps her home spotless. How does she do it? Marianne described her to me as the ultimate Karen. Hard Truths is a portrait of a woman who has had, another quote from Marianne, the milk of human kindness drained from her. Let's welcome Mike, Marianne, and Michele to the stage. I think we're going here. And before we discuss the special process they used to create this film, let's see a clip.
You can't go in or out of a supermarket without being harassed by those grinning, cheerful charity workers begging you for money for their stupid causes. Why they got to skin their teeth like that? Cheerful, grinning people. Can't stand them. Loitering out there, demanding your hard-earned cash. It's a scam. They're scamming people. Can't trust them. They want your phone number, your email. I asked one of them, I said, "Why do you want my postcode? I might as well just give you my front door key so you can bruck into my house, teeth out my things, and kill my only child." And nobody called the police on them. Police won't come anyway. They're too busy harassing black boys walking. And him round the corner with that dog. Got it dressed up in a red coat and green booties. Why's the dog got on a coat? It's got fur, innit? Must be sweating under there, stinking. That's cruelty to animals, that is. Putting it under all that plastic. I've got a mind to report him to the NSPCG or whatever they call them. And her over there with that fat baby. Cold, 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 and she's walking up and down the street with nothing but a big pink bow on its bald head so everybody can tell it's a girl, like I care. Parading it around in the little outfit, not dressed for the weather, nah, with pockets. What's the baby got pockets for? What's it gonna keep in its pocket? A knife? It's ridiculous.
Pansy. So Mike, Marianne, and Michele, you know, you have a process for discovering the characters. Talk to us about how the three of you came up with Pansy and Chantal, please.
Well, we did what we always do. We collaborated to create the characters. First, we worked together and evolved the basis, the kernel
Yes.
of Pansy, and then we did the same with Chantal, and then we got down to the business of going right back to the beginning of their shared lives, and we
Yes.
developed their relationship throughout a long period of time. And that's about the source of the character, which comes from real people that they know, and building it into a character with some input from me and my notion about what kind of world we want to create, and really missing out no details of any kind, you know,
Right.
covering everything that you can to make three-dimensional, real characters
Yeah.
and relationship.
Yeah. And Marianne, I mean, forgive me, but do you know people like Pansy?
Yes.
I'm sorry, can you put your hand up in the audience if you don't know anybody like Pansy? Thank you.
I mean, certain aspects of different people that I know that definitely helped to form her, you know.
So how did you, you know, 'cause she's such an anxious woman, isn't she? Full of anxiety. She keeps her house spotless, and, you know, she's got this brown leather sofa that she spends all day cleaning. But so what was the kernel? How did you?
Well, I mean, it's as Mike says, it takes time. I mean, we spend quite a lot of time working out all the details of this
Yeah.
person's life, you know, their disappointments, their achievements, if any, the
Yes.
heartbreaks, all that stuff, you know, is layered and layered on until you get who you see.
I
on
mean,
the
some of
screen.
what we do
Yes.
comes under the general heading of trade secrets.
Oh, okay.
Just thought I'd say that to save time.
But I'm interested in sort of the journey that, you know, both, you know, the two siblings. I mean, you know, that there's two ends of the, you know, one has a very happy life with kids, and one is not so happy.
Right.
So how was that?
Go on,
worked on?
Michele.
I mean, I mean, yes, one is seemingly very happy and one is, you know, seemingly anxious. But, you know, as Mike says, you develop the relationship through the years, and you talk about sort of what gets them up until this point.
Yes.
So what's lovely for me and Marianne is we've known each other a really long time, and we've worked with Mike several times now. So we sort of know how to get to the place where, you know, the sort of the intimacy is there and everything. So it was very easy. Well, not easy, but it's a fun process, even when some of it isn't very fun.
Yes.
To be involved in and to be exploring. But like Mike said, there's sort of trade secrets.
Well, I mean, it's we talk them into existence, of course,
Yes.
but we do a lot of practical work, which is about, because it's not, you know, the difference between what makes this happen and, I suppose, if you like to put it this way, a conventional screenplay, is it's not just about words, it's about something organic and physical. And so we do a lot of stuff that, we do a lot of talking, a lot of inventing the world,
Yeah.
Yes.
sitting around, just sharing it, and then going off and doing research. I mean, like Michele really did research very thoroughly, as you can see, into how to be a hairdresser, doing that particular kind of quite difficult
I went
stuff.
and hung out a lot of hairdressers. I mean, I go to the hairdressers anyway, as like most of us do. But actually going in there and really just sitting in there and sitting in the room where, you know, everyone mixes the dyes and slags off the customers and you know, all of that. Like it was wonderful. But to talk about the relationship,
Because that's the key, isn't it?
yeah, I suppose what's really important is with siblings or with those, you know, in families, it is the shared history. It's about remembering the holidays or the lack of holidays or the school time or what you did in between school and when your mum got home, or, you know, it's really creating that whole world which
And you do get, in the cemetery scene, you do get that, on the whole, because Chantal was quite a bit younger than Pansy, that Pansy actually was looked after.
3 years.
There you go. But enough to look after her. I'd forgotten how long it was, actually. Yeah.
But Marianne, talk to us about sort of, you know, Pansy, you know, she is this anxious woman. She has obviously got deeply held sort of problems from childhood. But I want to know how the two of you, I mean, you know, when Chantel's doing your hair, I mean, was she really putting it?
Well, I mean, as far as Pansy was concerned, she was being a bit rough, you know. I mean, I think Michele kind of explained it. We established such a sort of like tight history, such a sort of, you know, like for Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
With the families, who's bringing the coleslaw? Well, we know Chantel's the one that's going to do that. Pansy probably wouldn't turn up with anything, or some fruit, or something that she likes but nobody else likes. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that would be something that has gone on for years and years. So when you've got all that information, you know, you're just really well armed to deal with any of the sort of improvisations and scenes and just really build the story.
And of course, although nobody played Pearl, the mother,
Yeah.
we invented her in a very three-dimensional way, so that we had a very strong sense of her and her relationship with her two daughters.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And we were very upset when Mike killed her off, actually,
Yes.
because
Really
she was
upset.
so real
Yeah.
to us. We loved, well,
yeah.
we loved Pearl.
And Mike, when was the decision made? When did you make the decision that you wanted to make a film featuring essentially an all-black company?
Well, I don't.
There are Caucasians in it, but it's essentially held
yes.
up by...
I mean, the question of when I decided that is at some point when I was really pondering what to do next.
Yes.
But I have to say about the thing of making a film with black, mostly black, with central black characters, is, I mean, it really is, for me, I mean, I've made films. I did a play in Australia about Greek Australians. I did a play in London about Jews. I did a film in Northern Ireland about Catholics and Protestants. I've made films about posh upper class people and different kinds of working class people. I mean, for me, it's about looking at people and society and life and the way we are, all of us.
Yes.
And I've had black characters in quite a number of my films, not least, of course, being Secrets and Lies, but that's by no means the only one. So it just felt a natural thing to do, to turn my attention in that direction. And also, because we decided to do something, it seemed a natural to follow on from, and obviously to get you two together for the third time with me was a good idea. So it just kind of, it wasn't, to me, I mean, let's put it like this, it was less of an expedition into alien territory than, for example, going to Australia and making a stage play about Greek Australians. I mean, you know that, I mean, I raised my boys in Wood Green in North London, and, you know, there were plenty of black kids in and out of our house, you know, I mean, for example.
Including my son.
Including your son.
But that's by the by. But you very, very clearly also avoid the tropes of sort of some black films. Talk to us about that, how you...
Well, I mean, it just... there are two perspectives, two ways of looking at that. I mean, in fact, what I've done is what I would naturally do, which is to be concerned with us, how people are,
Yes.
Irrespective. But at the same time, if I'm going to do this, I mean, certainly, I didn't so much avoid the tropes, but I was aware that is not the territory that I was going to explore, you know, because everybody else does.
Yes.
And to some extent, these are cliches.
Yeah.
And I don't, on the whole, I hope I don't do that anyway.
But the important thing that struck me, sort of Marianne and Michele, is the fact that the two sisters, I mean, forgive me, they could have been white ladies. You know, I mean, it's not a film about... I say this carefully.
Careful.
Yes.
No, it's a film about human beings, essentially.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I think the thing about avoiding tropes is the way that Mike works is that these characters, every character comes from truth, comes from real people. That's the basis to all of these people. So hopefully, of course, you're going to avoid, tropes or any stereotypes, because these are real people that we've based, they're based on. So I think, that's what gives the film its originality, really. I think it's really important. It's really important to see black British families in this context being a family, having anxieties, dealing with their issues, because real black families do.
Yes.
We don't walk around, sort of experiencing being black all that, you know, we walk around worrying about all the things that everybody else sort of worries
and
about.
also, let's say it's kind of funny at times as well.
Sure.
You know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
sort of how was the comic timing work, Tom?
Well, again, because of the way that we work, you're not really aware of that. You're just in character, being, you know, reacting to what you're being given. I think sort of, yeah, you're just not aware of it. It's not as contrived in that way.
No.
No, obviously, my job is to dramatise it and
Sure.
you know, be responsible for its form and its spirit and all that stuff, in collaboration with their job, which is to be constantly and continuously truthful to the acting. About the tropes thing.
Yes.
I mean, I think what Michele is absolutely right. But of course, I mean, in principle, I could choose as the filmmaker to make a film which embraced what we call the tropes and those situations and all the rest of it, without but still the characters would be as truthful as they would. But I mean, I've deliberately not done that because there is no reason to do so when there is so much else to look at in terms of the way we all are.
Yes. Before we go, let me ask you this. I mean, you've been quoted in some interviews that this may have been your last film, is it? Or will there be more? Will we see more
We're
films?
planning to make a film next year.
Oh, good. Good. Great. Great. That's in development now.
Well, we're trying to raise the money now. And some people have said they might be interested now. And more than that, I cannot say.
Have you casted? Have you decided upon a cast?
Of course not. I wouldn't dream of casting a film until we'd got the money. That would be most irresponsible. Because it would involve phoning up an actor and saying, "Look, I'm really sorry, but it's not going to happen because we haven't got the money." So, no. Can we move on to the next question, please?
Well, the next question is to actually thank you for joining us because we've run out of time, unfortunately.
Good.
I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame because it's a lovely film to discuss.
Thank you.
There's many more things to talk about. So please join me in welcoming and thanking.
Thank you.
Thank you.